plastic would have been killing the same amount of humans as birds and marine life. Did you know that it would be among the top 10 killers in the world with over 1 million deaths annually? What makes these deaths even more tragic is the manner in which they happen. So, once the marine animals and birds consume plastic, they're not able to get it out of the system, because of which they're not able to eat anything else, leading to slow and painful death. Hello, everyone. My name is Haaziq Kazi, and I am the inventor of Ervis the ship and co-founder of the Ervis Foundation. Thank you so much for inviting me to this session. The plastic waste crisis has reached a critical point wherein, if unchecked, it is projected that we will have more plastic in the ocean than fish by 2050. So, my journey started a few years back when I watched a documentary on the impact of plastic on marine life. In a manner, it profoundly affected me. It disturbed me to a level where I thought I had to do something about it, and that inspired me to design a ship called Ervis. So, Ervis represents a hope for marine life, a futuristic clean energy ship which sucks waste from the ocean surface and cleans it. So one day, our school announced at the local TED chapter that we could talk about a problem close to our hearts. And I chose the topic of the marine pollution problem and how I see Ervis addressing it. Subsequently, I went on with my life post the presentation until 1 year later when I was fortunate to have my idea shortlisted to be presented at the TED headquarters in New York. I worked closely with scientists, researchers, and engineers to do more research on the plastic waste problem, the ship design, and how I could make a more engaging conversation with my audience. I finally got the chance to go on stage on 17th June 2017, where I spoke for 11 minutes. But those 11 minutes changed my life and just took me on a journey of self realization, change, and purpose. As I went digging deeper into the problem, I realized that plastic has had a catastrophic impact on not just our oceans, but on so many other parts of our ecosystem, to the point where the damage could be irreversible. And remember, all of this in just the last half a century. Today, plastic has made its way into every single part of our biodiversity, even to the most remote corners of the Arctic. And that is concerning. The need for convenient living has taken over conscious living, which needs to change. Nations can no longer put people, planet, and natural resources on the backseat and give the front seat to profit. For the betterment of humanity, the environment needs to be prioritized whether or not it reaps profit. The youth today also cannot afford to remain casual and irresponsible anymore like our earlier generations. We have to work hard and work tirelessly to ensure that we have a safer, healthier, and longer future ahead of us, where we don't have to fight for basic sustenance and right to essential resources like clean water. In order to advocate a generational change, I decided to establish my foundation. At the Ervis Foundation, we intend to equip the youth with all the necessary tools that will develop them to be more socially responsible and sensitive. This calls for intensive capacity building and also for schools to take the curriculums beyond academic learning. Students should also be instilled with added skills like soft skills, problem solving, science and innovation, design thinking, and much, much more. Even circular economy can be inculcated as a part of university and college curriculum. We also have midterm goals of establishing a zero waste marketplace to provide sustainable alternatives to plastic products like bamboo toothbrushes or copper water bottles for consumers to make a much more conscious choice on the lifestyle. We have also created an app to calculate the plastic debt of individuals. Our long term goal is to incubate moonshots projects like Ervis the ship and make them a reality, manning the oceans and cleaning the natural habitat of marine life. We've also been working really closely with the United Nations Environmental Program by promoting the cause of the oceans, specifically focusing on sustainable goal number 14 at various forums. To conclude, the plastic waste crisis, which arguably represents the biggest crisis affecting our marine ecosystems, also represents an equally big opportunity for my generation to work on it and reverse the damage. The greatest barrier to progress is not the lack of solutions, rather, our love for models that have proven insufficient in the face of current realities. No matter who we are or where we come from, every single individual on this planet has the capacity to contribute and support one another in achieving the future we want. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Haziq. And again, if anyone has any questions for Haziq, you can go ahead and drop them into the chat window. Let me just go to the chat window here. Lizzie Bradley is asking, so how old were you when you were first inspired to tackle the plastic waste crisis? And tell her again how old you are now.
So I first came up with the idea when I was in the fourth grade, so that should have been around when I was 10 years old. And currently I'm in the ninth grade, and 14 years old. So,
Amazing. I think about what I was doing when I was that age, and it was definitely nothing on par with this. Kendall Powell is asking, who is the most famous person you've had contact with because of your TED Talk? That's a good one.
well, I've been extremely fortunate to meet many influential people in my journey, such as the co-founder of PayPal and SpaceX, Luke Nozek, head of Google X, Jack Hidary, um, uh, angel investor Asha Jadeja Motwani, Excellency Amina Garib Fakim, who is the ex-president of Mauritius, Dr. Ash Pachauri, who is the son of Nobel Peace Prize winner Dr. Rajendra Pachauri, and like the list goes on. But and it's just really inspiring to see like everyone in their field of work and how they have brought about a change in their own way, and that's really inspiring, and it also inspires me to continue what I'm doing and just never stop like never stop never stop what I'm doing and try to bring about a change and a positive impact on the earth.
Absolutely. It's quite a list you have there. Um, let's see, we have another question from Malad. He's asking, how does your foundation work and how else can folks get involved or take action with your foundation or otherwise?
Right. So we have three main initiatives. We call it the Hero Hub and Hygiene. Um, so we mainly focus in the Hero. We focus on education initiatives, working on awareness, and Hub being a zero waste marketplace, and hygiene like an incubation lab, and especially also policy work. Policy making, working with the UN. So we also encourage the spread of awareness on the crisis and just have meaningful engagement with people to bring a change. So just a bit more on the hero aspect. We conduct lots of workshops and events, mainly with the youth, about like how they can come up with ideas of their own to tackle the plastic waste crisis, how they can take it forward in their own communities, and it's just like an all around it can we also of course make them aware about the plastic pollution crisis. So
Absolutely. Yeah, innovation is key. Um, okay. Well, we just want to thank you again, Haaziq, for your incredible inventiveness and the dedication you have to our global waste issues. We're so grateful to have you join us today and share your knowledge. And again, if anyone has any additional questions for Haaziq or any questions we didn't get to in the chat
Uh,
window, you can feel free to contact him directly at contact@ervis.com.